I think as we memorialize the fallen, we also need to learn from them. And of course, we can only learn from them from the stories of the ones who made it. And so I want to just tell you a little bit about one of the ones who made it, who taught me an awful lot, and that's my grandfather. I hope you'll. My curiosity was, of course, awakened at an early age because I looked at, well, look at the greatest generation. You know, get through the Great Depression, beat fascism, and start taking on communism all in one generation. There's got to be something to that, right? There's got to be some kind of medal there. And of course, I think the thing that's most important that I've learned is that the same characteristics that win a war is the same characteristics that make a society work. And that is self-sacrifice. Not just thinking about yourself, not just thinking about the day you can speed into the beach on Memorial Day, but to think about the work you can do for a community. My grandfather was a POW in Makassar and Nagasaki, in Japanese POW camps, and he taught me some great things. First of all, he taught me a lot about faith and will, because he was there from the age of 17 in early 1942 to the conclusion of the war. And you get by on just a few hundred calories a day, and you see a lot of folks, executed for trying to leave or for minor infractions. And a lot of people just pass away from malnutrition, and you have to survive with will and faith. The second thing he taught me was you got to have some humor. Most of his stories revolve around trying to find more food, right? Because that's how you survive in a POW camp. You find more food. And after about these ones of trying to climb up a coconut tree and trying to avoid patrols, or being lowered into the hold by a comrade to try to steal some food, and he'll be laughing and laughing, and he one time just turned over to me and he said, Das, if you can't find humor and laugh at yourself, you're already dead. And if I had heard it from anyone else, I would have thought it as trite. But as someone who went through what he did, I understand how wise it is. And of course, as I told you, the greatest thing that I learned about was self-sacrifice, and that you don't always have to do things that are extremely brave to do that, to be of sacrifice. He, because he spent most of the war in POW camp, he didn't necessarily prove how brave or heroic he was, except in small things. And one of those, was the example that I saw. I won't give you the detail, but in cleaning bathrooms in a POW camp, in a place where disease is rampant. And I think about, that's a pretty important thing to volunteer to do when there's so many people dying of disease. And believe me, the details are excruciating, and I won't put it through you. He told me in detail. But it just shows you that self-sacrifice is sometimes about the very small things and about the continuous level of service and putting others ahead of yourself, even in very small ways. And I think that those are all valuable lessons for us to carry forward, because they are things that will make our society work. And if we forget those things, it will make our society not work. So I want to thank you for those lessons that you all have taught us, and for having me here today.